the first, it's funny because some people think that Prabhupada never talked about Raganuga Bhakti because his words are mostly in English because we were all brand new. But then, and sometimes his verses are also just pure English. But then if you go to the original verse in Bengali, and then the word for word synonyms, there's Raganuga Bhakti all over the place. He just made it in English so that when somebody says it in Sanskrit, we say, Sanskrit or Bengali, we think Prabhupada never said it. So the first is devotional service. If you think, so now if you all here in this room think when I said service and faith, it means Vaidhi Bhakti, I'm just making it up. Let's see Prabhupada's next sentence. The first is devotional service rendered in accordance with the regulative principles. And the second refers to spontaneous loving service of the Lord without extraneous endeavor. Henceforward, the basic principle underlining, say from this verse on, everything's going to be Raganuga Bhakti. Henceforward, the basic underlining principle of the talks between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rai Ramananda will be on the basis of spontaneous loving service. The regulative principles, according to the injunctions of the Shastras, are necessary insofar as one's original dormant Krishna consciousness is not spontaneously awakened. Preparing to stand by, it just closed. Perfect. So, that is ISKCON. In fact, because in the 90s I was looking for all kinds of quotes from Prabhupada to support Srila Narayana Maharaj's position. So in one quote from the folio, Prabhupada said, Raganuga Bhakti is real bhakti. And the other is like a practice or a semblance to come to that, to get us ready to come to that. So nowhere in the world am I saying that Srila Narayana Maharaj's followers are all in Raganuga Bhakti, because that's very high. One has to be in Asakti or Bhava Bhakti to be in pure Raganuga Bhakti. But he's just telling us that this is what Prabhupada wanted to give us, and he's giving us the process of how we can come to that. And then we go back to Prabhupada's books. Wow, I never saw that before. Once, I think it was 1993, Srila Narayana Maharaj, Srila Gurudev said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give service to Srimati Radhika as a maidservant. That was his ultimate thing. And then he gave everything else as byproducts. But that was his aim and objective, which is also in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prema ras niryas korite aswadan raga marga bhakti loke koriche pracharan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, who wanted to taste the essence of conjugal love. That's what he came to taste. And because Krishna couldn't do it fully as Krishna, there's so many verses, which I don't want to start going off. And he came to give Raga Marga Bhakti Loke. He wanted to give Raga Marga Bhakti to the people, to the world. That's what he came to pracharan, to preach. So, does that answer the question?
For me, yes. After this deep explanation, what actually ISKCON means, it's clear. Unless somebody has.
Nor have we left even the institution. Any devotee who gets initiated by practically 99% of the devotees who get initiated by Srila Gurudev are relieved of their services from ISKCON. Sorry, you're no longer the Gurukula teacher. Sorry, you're no longer the head pujari here. We no longer need your services.
I would ask such a question like, what do you think? What are actually the deep reasons of these tensions in our Vaishnava family? And how do you see the future of this?
The future of the tensions?
Yeah, will it be somehow dissolved? Or we have to live with it?
Is any hope?
Any
change?
hope?
What is
Well,
because Actually, it's not started with with this tension between ISKCON and Narayan followers. But if we see the history. Of Gaudiya Math, all the time we have to deal with such a stories.
In fact, if we go a little earlier, to the time of Srila Viswanath Chakrabarti Thakur, his books are very much contained with Raganuga Bhakti, his commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam, which you'll see all over Srila Prabhupada's books. And there was a class, a group of Smarta Brahmins, who thought he's ruining our, Indian religion, our Vaishnava religion, with his preaching. So what we should do is we should kill him. So they made a conspiracy, and they found out. You'll find this in the introduction to Srila Gurudev's Chamatkar Chandrika. In the introduction, there's the life history of Srila Viswanath Chakrabarti Thakur, who's the author. And so they made a conspiracy that, we know that he goes and does his bhajan in the darkness in Vrindavan, in any one of the kunjas. So when he's there, we'll go and kill him. And he won't ruin all of our Smarta Brahman philosophy. So he's gaining all the popularity and we're losing it. So they saw him and they started to try to find, and they lost him and tried to find where he was. Then they saw in one of the kunjas a very young, beautiful maiden picking flowers. So they thought I'll ask her. Did you see a sage passing by here? And she said, I forgot whether she said, I did, but I don't see him anymore, or that I haven't seen him. I'm just picking flowers for my Swamini, Radhika. And then all of a sudden, that young girl turned back into Srila Viswanath Chakrabarti Thakur. And then they realized what a great offense they had committed. And then they fell at his feet and became his disciples and followers. So the tension, as you said, it goes way back. In 1993 or 4, I asked Srila Gurudev, is this a tension between Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti? He said, oh no. Vaidhi Bhakti is in a line with Raganuga Bhakti. Totally harmonious. This is a tension between Bhakti Pratikul and Bhakti. Bhakti Pratikul means against Bhakti. And Bhakti.
It's quite a heavy statement.
Yeah.
Or we can say it is Smarta mentality against Vaishnava mentality.
Could be Smarta, but the Smartas follow at least the rules and some rules and regulations, but they don't know the goal of life. Otherwise, is so many new varieties. Like, for example, this is another heavy statement, which maybe some people don't want to hear, is that, which is one of the main reasons that I'm not allowed in ISKCON, because I made this statement in 1980 with all kinds of evidences from Prabhupada's books, that Prabhupada never appointed the 11 gurus. Now, if Prabhupada had appointed the 11 gurus, that means that everything that Prabhupada wrote about what is a guru in his books, considering that 3/4 of them fell down, means that Prabhupada doesn't even really know what a guru is. So that would be a big mar on Prabhupada's reputation. So we started getting all kinds of quotes from Prabhupada's books about what is the meaning of, what is the symptom of a real bona fide guru.